The air was thick with the scent of jasmine as the towering figure of Irvin Aumbra made her way through the bustling marketplace. Her 4 arms, each tipped with delicate, human-like hands, gracefully navigated the crowds of curious onlookers and excited merchants. She was here on vacation with her human male husband, exploring the vibrant streets and sampling the exotic delights this alien world had to offer. As she wove her way through the colorful stalls, her eyes caught sight of a small cafe tucked away in an alcove. Its inviting aroma of freshly brewed coffee and pastries wafting out onto the busy street. With a smile, she ducked into the cafe, her long tail swishing gently behind her. The air inside was cool and fragrant, the walls adorned with paintings and trinkets from Earth and beyond. A human male with striking green eyes and messy brown hair looked up from his seat at the corner table, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. "Ah, there you are," he said, rising to meet her. "I was beginning to think you'd gotten lost in the crowd." Irvin laughed, her voice a melodic trill that filled the cafe. "Never," she assured him, taking a seat across from him. "I was just taking in the sights and sounds." She gestured to a waitress who had been watching them with interest. "What would you like to order?" Her husband considered for a moment, then looked back at her with a playful glint in his eye. "Why don't we share a plate of those crepes and a cup of coffee? We can split one of those fruit smoothies too, if you're hungry." Irvin nodded at his suggestion. "That sounds wonderful," she said, her gaze never leaving his face. They placed their order with the waitress, who seemed more than happy to take care of them. As they waited for their food, they continued to chat, laughing and teasing each other like old friends. The time passed quickly, and soon their food arrived. They dug in with gusto, relishing the flavors that were so different from anything they had tried back on Earth. The crepes were light and fluffy, the fruit in the smoothie tart and sweet, and the coffee rich and aromatic. As they ate, Irvin couldn't help but marvel at how easily they could navigate this alien world together. It was as if they were meant to be here, exploring this new frontier, side by side. Her husband reached across the table, taking her hand in his. "I love you," he said simply, meeting her gaze. "I love you too," Irvin replied, her eyes shining with love and gratitude. And in that moment, they knew that no matter where their journey took them, they would always find their way back to each other. Finishing their meal, they thanked the waitress and paid the bill. Irvin glanced at her boyfriend, feeling a sudden pang of homesickness. "Are you ready to head back to our hotel?" she asked, her voice a little wistful. He nodded, understanding her longing. "Yes," he said gently. "But first," he added, reaching into his pocket, "I have something for you." He pulled out a small, velvet box, opening it to reveal a sparkling ring. Irvin's breath caught in her throat as she saw the beautiful emerald-cut diamond set in platinum. "Irvin," he said softly, "will you marry me?" Her heart soared as she looked into his eyes, seeing the love and commitment shining back at her. "Yes," she replied, her own voice trembling with emotion. "Yes, I will marry you." They sealed their promise with a kiss, their tongues dancing together, their love tangible and real. As they walked hand in hand through the marketplace, their future stretching out before them like a vast, infinite tapestry. They knew that no matter what challenges they might face or where their journey might take them, they would face them together, as one. Their wedding on the world of Rhizome was an extravagant affair, with Irvin wearing a stunning gown of pale green silk, her long ears and tail adorned with intricate jewelry. Irvin's boyfriend, now her husband, looked dashing in a tailored suit of midnight blue, his green eyes twinkling with pride as he gazed at his beautiful bride. They exchanged vows under a canopy of swaying palm trees, the sound of the native birds providing a stirring soundtrack to their special day. Their friends and family, a mix of humans and aliens from across the galaxy, cheered and applauded as they sealed their union with a kiss. After the ceremony, they celebrated late into the night, dancing and laughing, surrounded by loved ones. The music of Earth and Rhizome mingled together, creating a unique and unforgettable atmosphere. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, they retired to their private quarters, exhausted but filled with a sense of contentment and joy. They collapsed onto the bed, their bodies entwined, and began to explore each other anew, their passion ignited by the events of the day. In the years that followed, they continued to travel the stars, exploring new worlds and experiencing all that life had to offer. Their love only grew stronger with each passing day, and they took great pride in being each other's partner in this grand adventure. They faced challenges and adversity together, but through it all, they knew that they could rely on each other to be their rock, their support, and their home. And as they looked back on that fateful day on Rhizome, when he had asked her to be his wife, they knew that it was the best decision they had ever made. They started a family, welcoming 2 beautiful children into their lives, a boy named Xavier and a girl named Zira. The children were a mix of both their cultures, with ears like their father and tails like their mother. The family lived on a sprawling estate on a lush, tropical planet, where they enjoyed long walks through the gardens, picnics by the lake, and watching the native animals play. They employed a team of nannies and tutors to care for the children, ensuring that they received the best education possible. As the children grew older, they developed an interest in exploring the galaxy as well. Their parents encouraged them, knowing that the world was a big and wonderful place, filled with countless opportunities for learning and growth. They watched with pride as their son and daughter began to make a name for themselves in various fields, from astrophysics to xenoarchaeology. The family would often reunite for important events or simply to spend time together, sharing stories and memories of their travels. Time passed, and Irvin and her husband began to slow down a bit, content to spend their days tending to their gardens, reading, or simply enjoying each other's company. They knew that their journey together wasn't over yet, but they cherished the peace and simplicity they had found in their later years. As they sat on the veranda of their estate, overlooking the verdant landscape and the twinkling stars beyond, they couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the life they had built together. They had been through so much, experienced so much, and yet here they were, still going strong, still in love after all these years. It was a testament to the power of love, of the human spirit, and of the infinite possibilities that lay waiting out there in the vast expanse of the cosmos. And as they watched their children and grandchildren play in the yard below, they knew that their story would continue to inspire and touch the lives of those around them for generations to come.